Hi, I'm Nancy Martinez, and I'm the Director of Marketing and the Independent Retail Floral Customer Channel here at Limbush Roses. And welcome to LBR Talks, where we share nuggets on business and leadership to help you enhance and elevate your business. I'm excited about today's episode. We have our guest, Sandy Schreck. She's our Education Coordinator here at LBR, and she's going to speak to us on how to reflect back on what happened this most recent holiday, the information to capture, and what to do with it so it sets you up for success for the next upcoming holidays. So without further ado, let's get into our segment with Sandy. Hi, I'm Nancy Martinez, and I'm your host here at LBR Talks. First, I just want to say congratulations to everybody on making it through Valentine's 2021. Right now, you should be thoroughly exhausted and have a sense of relief. And with that, we have a great topic for you. I have our guest today, Sandy Schreck. Welcome, Sandy. You know Sandy as our education coordinator here at Limbush Roses. Well, previous life, Sandy was a lead designer in a large retail floral shop. So she has some great insights on what to do to be successful in upcoming holidays because of what you do right now, right?
Yes.
So first we're going to have a nice cup of coffee, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and the next thing that you want to do is really kind of reflect on how the holiday went. Everybody, when they go to start planning the next year, they can remember the things that went wrong. Those always stick out in our minds.
Of course.
But one of the biggest details that I want you to think about is what went right. Document that as well. Potentially some of the changes that you made this year, how they went, how they worked. If you added a table somewhere or logistics-wise, needed more space in the shipping department or needed more people, more staffing certain days. The best time to plan for next year is the day after the holiday or the next day. But just to sit down and really reflect on what happened and what is the potential for the next year.
Yeah, I really like that. And you're right. I think it's really easy to be hard on ourselves, right? And just getting through it, there are many points throughout this holiday season, because it didn't just happen in one day,
right,
that you did and executed good and right things. So that's awesome. So we're gonna do both opportunities and things that went right.
Right. But the opportunities, you also want to think about what are those solutions. Yeah. So if you did have challenges, the best time to plan for what change you would make is really in the moment when you think about it and your space requirements or renting a cooler truck or any type of adjustment that you would recommend. But document a solution along with every problem. So
yeah, that's good. So we're going to say what would we do differently? And we know that because we've said what went right, what didn't. Now what am I going to do different? So I've already have solutions in place for next year.
Yeah, it's the best way to keep moving forward.
Good. Okay. That's great. And then other things that maybe are out of your control. One thing I can think of is weather.
Most definitely. Yeah. You want to make sure that you write down. Valentine's in particular isn't a holiday that rotates days. So what day of the week that it landed on. So in a number of years, when it falls on a Sunday, such as it did this year, what are the factors that affected sales?
Sure.
And anything else that's going on, maybe like a pandemic, what changes you had to make this year. But it's good to document, how you handled it and how it potentially you feel like it affected sales.
And foot traffic.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. And all of those things. So snowstorm, day of the week, and what other factors might have affected sales.
Yeah, that's good. Good point. Okay. And then you said factors that affected sales. How about just even documenting what sold or maybe how quickly?
Yeah, most definitely. So if you have a new feature that you created this year and it's sold out really fast, your POS system next year is going to tell you that you sold 36 of those, but it's not going to tell you that you are ready out of that item 3 days before the holiday. So you want to write down that item and plan more of those potentially for next year.
That's
And
good.
you know you're going to get the sale, but on your website, so you took that one down and put another one in its place. So then that item, you may have sold more, but you would want to plan less the next year because you kind of pushed it through.
Okay.
And so some of those things to plan for the next year is a good practice to just take into consideration and make those notes.
Sure, because if the hot items are hot and they all sold, what was our lost sales potential on those, and in documenting those?
Yeah, and you know, as you're going through the holiday, when you are looking at some of your friends, potentially flower shops, and you see a really cool idea that kind of inspires you, to take a snapshot of that too and put it in a folder, and then you have an inspiration to create kind of your own feature that would be your own twist on something you were inspired by from somebody else.
Ooh, I like that. So things that inspire you, capture those now. It's not even too late right now, right? I mean,
No.
We're day after. Do a dig in social media, you'll find them and capture those. And maybe even what marketing pieces and techniques you personally used.
Right.
During this holiday.
What was your social media plan for this year? And so what you did and what you would think would be a better plan or a way to improve it, or some of the ads that other people did that inspired you, and it can come from another industry.
Oh yeah.
So you can be inspired by a jewelry company or something like that, like the purchase with purchase type of sale too. So it comes from other industries.
That's really great. So to go through what went right, what went wrong, what would we do different, document things out of your control, weather, etc., potential lost sales, and inspiration. That's kind of the key points here. That's great. That's a lot, but those are really good nuggets and worth a hour of time or whatever it would take. Gather your team around. And do it collaboratively.
And so the other thing I would recommend is just to have a clipboard or a notebook that during the week you just do jot little notes. You know, you're not going to document the whole process or solution, but anytime you run into something that might be a snag or something that went really well, to make sure
real time.
Jotting down a few of those things.
Yeah, and we have a quote here on our team that says, if you think it, ink it. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Ray Spear. He says it more than anybody. We learned it in one of our training sessions. But it's true. It's like if you have an idea, take your pen to paper and get it down, because, you know, squirrel, the next thing that happens, it's gone, right?
Right.
So that's good. I like the clipboard idea.
Yeah, the other thing that I use that I have with me all the time, so I have the notes field on my phone.
Okay.
And so I'll use that a lot of times too. And something as simple as even names you're inspired by. And so when it comes to creating features, all of a sudden you need to give that feature a name, which is really kind of the personality of the arrangement. You want to have some notes to be inspired so that you don't kind of get stuck there.
That's great. That's perfect. Okay. And so how can we take these ideas and bring it into our everyday?
So the same kind of process you could get into a regular basis, where you would on Monday morning just sit down and reflect just on the past week. Okay. Because as you're going from year to year, your POS system is going to tell you that sales were here or sales were here. But like, to remember last year, 2 weeks ago, like, you know, what happened, it's impossible. So to have those notes again on Monday morning, just getting a general practice and have a place to keep them on a calendar or something that says we had a big snowstorm, so sales were down.
Yeah.
We had a lot of funeral work, so sales were up, and just something to go back to. Another idea is to think about is if you do a social media promotion or something like that, like it's a plant sale or a tulip sale, and it did really well, you want to remember that and repeat that the next year. And then you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. Just don't forget what you did right.
Yeah, right. I like that. Looking back really tells a little story, and you're telling the why behind what your previous week results gave you.
Yeah, because those are just numbers.
Yeah.
They're not the stories. And maybe, with that system, you have a place to put notes. But I would encourage everybody to put notes that go with the numbers so that you can keep moving forward.
This is great. Great nugget, Sandy. Appreciate that. And if we wanted to give our viewers a little deeper dive or something else to dig into besides what we shared today, what could you offer them?
I've written a blog post that we're going to put on our website.
Yep.
And so you'll be able to take a look at that and just look at some of the bullet point ideas that things to document and just kind of a process to be able to put this into practice.
That's great. Okay, so we'll have the link below so you can click on that and get a good meaty written version of some of the ideas Sandy shared today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing, Sandy. And thank you for visiting us here again at LBR Talks. Always glad to have you. Please leave comments if you have them. If you have any ideas that you would like us or topics you want us to dig in for you and share, please let us know. And as always, we're looking forward to seeing you next time. Another great segment here on LBR Talks. That was really great. Sandy shared some really good information. I hope that you can take some of these nuggets with you and apply it today or tomorrow and set yourself up for success in the future. As you know, I like my quotes, so I'm going to leave you with a quote of the day. And this one is on reflection, and it's by unknown. I think a relative of anonymous. So, but it's a great quote saying, looking back so that the view forward is even closer. So I will have that as a download for you that you can download, print, post it, share it, do whatever you want with it. Put it on your bulletin board for your team to look at this week. So with that, thank you again for joining us at LBR Talks, and we'll see you next time.